When does being a good friend, being non-judgmental, accepting and loving somebody for who they are, because if you have a friend that just has a problem and that problem's not going to go away and you're going to stay that person's friend, eventually you have to just accept them and love them for who they are. So when does that line end, and then when does enabling begin? Hey guys, welcome back to Live, Love, Life, and Travel. This is your girl Shamika, and today I'm going to go ahead and jump on one of the YouTube popular topics, which is Eugenia Cooney. Or Clooney, one of those. And the reason why I'm talking about this for two reasons: because it's a popular topic and because I have something to say, and I just also wanted to tie it into another subject that I wanted to talk about. If you don't know who Eugenia is, she's a really popular YouTuber here on YouTube, and she is super skinny. And for years and years and years, people have been speculating that she is anorexic. And I've seen her videos from before, and I agree, she looks really skinny, but I kind of held my judgments to myself because I was like, you know, maybe she does have a health issue. She has mentioned that she has a health issue, but she never goes into what that health issue is. She just sort of keeps that to herself, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But recently she has, I guess, moved out of her parents' house or her mother's house, and she even got skinnier, which I didn't even think could be possible because she was already extremely thin, and now she's even thinner. And then I also watched a video from Vegan Lass. Hey Vegan Lass, if you ever see this video, I definitely watch you. And she did a video about her, and she did point out some things that made me go, yeah, maybe she's not anorexic. She pointed out her hair thickness. Vegan Lass herself battled with the eating disorder, so she would know these things. And I was like, yeah, her hair is pretty thick. And she was saying a lot of anorexics have very thin hair. It is a chance that Eugenia is using hair extensions. That is a chance. She was also saying that her face didn't look as thin as a lot of anorexics, and also just her personality, her energy. And if you watch her videos, she does look really happy. She doesn't portray someone who feels sickly or depressed or anything like that. She has a lot of energy. She's really bubbly. She really seems like a really happy person. She seems like a very nice girl. So she wasn't portraying someone who had a sickness or was battling with somebody. And so she was like, maybe she's not anorexic. But then recently she uploaded another video saying that she kind of takes it back because recently she has lost more weight. And if you know, like, the camera puts on weight, like it does. So if she looks that thin on camera, I'm almost really scared to imagine what she actually looks like in person. So people are starting to come out and speak up for her and saying she needs help. I mean, some people probably do really care about her well-being, and some people are just using this for clicks and views. Maybe people think I'm using it for clicks and views, but I do have something to say, so listen. But other people, like Onision, is sort of calling out her fan because she is really popular. She has a large audience, and she has a lot of people who are sort of enabling her behavior by telling her, like, whatever, don't listen to the haters, don't listen to the naysayers, don't listen to the negative talk, which it really is just people pointing out what seems like the obvious. You know, you do you, you're beautiful, you're just perfect the way you are, you're just fine, you don't need to change, we all know you're not anorexic, blah blah blah. And they're saying that her fans are enabling her, and that the same fans who are enabling her behavior are going to be the same fans who are probably up in arms when if something did really bad happen to her. So people are saying, stop enabling her. If you really love your favorite YouTubers the way you say you love them, if you support them the way you say you support them, then you should also hold them accountable when you think that they are doing something that is detrimental to their health. Now, in me saying that, I want to sort of segue into another topic, because I think we all kind of come up against this this conflict on our everyday lives, or all our lives. Everybody has had someone they really care about, and someone they really love, and who just, or even really respect it, and sort of just took a turn for the worst. And I know I battle with this because it's like, should I say something? Because I battle with it for a number of reasons. I try my best not to be judgmental. hate is a strong word, but I am disgusted by judgmental people. I really am. Like, someone being judgmental against someone's race, their nationality, their religion, their sexuality, their appearance, whatever, is like someone scratching their nails down a chalkboard. Like, it makes me want to rip my skin off and run down the street screaming naked, bloody murder. Like, I just hate it. I can't stand it. Like, it's just like, who the fuck are you? Like, who the fuck made you the fucking judge and jury of what somebody should be doing, or how somebody should be acting? So since I can't stand other people's judgment, I try myself not to be judgmental, try to be open-minded. There are some black and white issues, like if you're a pedophile or a rapist, then you're a monster, and I'm not going to try to figure you out. Like, that, to me, that's black and white. But mostly everything else, I try to be pretty open-minded to it and understand why someone's doing what they're doing. So me trying to call out someone else's behavior, it makes me feel like I'm judging them, and I don't want to ever come off judgmental. I don't like it. I'm not perfect myself, so it's almost like, who am I to call out somebody else's bad behavior? Like, I'm not perfect. I also do believe that sometimes people need to take a certain path in their life, and they need to just get there, and they don't need your interference. Sometimes people, first of all, need to hit rock bottom so they can finally climb to the top, and sometimes people need to just do certain things to get themselves through a moment in their life so they can survive long enough so they can get to a better place. For instance, like, I have a BFF, and I hope she's not watching this, because I love you, girl, if you are watching this, and I'm not putting her this person on blast, but I did notice that she was having a difficult time in her life, and she may have been using certain things to get through those hard moments, like alcohol or like marijuana, to deal with her anxiety. And there's a part of me that was like, you know what, she's just doing what she needs to do to get through the day, and I'm not gonna hate her for that. Like, I'm not inside her head, I'm not inside her body. Like, I don't know what it feels like to be her in this moment. She's having a difficult time, and who am I to tell her that she can't use the crutch she's using to get through her day? Like, and I guess I'm always really optimistic to know, like, she's there now, but she's gonna get better. Like, she's just doing what she needs to do so she can survive the day, so she can get to the better place she will be eventually. But when does being a good friend and being non-judgmental and just loving and accepting somebody for who they are ends? And when does enabling begin? Like, am I a bad friend for not saying something, for not speaking up? Or am I a good friend for understanding that she's doing what she needs to do for the moment to get to a better place? Or am I being judgmental? Like, this, me and my BFF, like, she see me at my worst and I seen her at her worst, so I know, like, she can turn around and be like, girl, you can't talk because I've seen you, whatever, like, you know what I mean? So, like, I deal with this a lot, and it's not just with her. Like, I have a brother, and I love him to death, and growing up, like, he's gay, and he's very out of the closet, so he doesn't mind me saying this. And I was one of the first people in our family to know that he was gay, and I was the only person I knew for a long time. So for a long time, I was his sacred place. I was his place where he can be vulnerable. I was his safe space to fall. And so he knew I would never judge him. I was always open and willing to accept him for who he was, his beliefs, or whatever. But as we got older, there were a couple of times where he did things that I was kind of like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, I should say something, but at the same time, like, I feel like if I say something, then I'm not going to be a safe space anymore. Because most likely, the people who are doing something to grab attention, to grab negative attention, I've probably heard it from a million other people already. And the last thing they want to hear is their BFF telling them the same fucking thing that everybody else and their mother and father had to say to them. So I don't want to be just a repeating voice in his head, the same person, repeating what other people already said. I want to continue being his safe space where he can feel that he have a safe place to run to and be vulnerable. But at the same time, like, does that make me a bad sister? Does that make me a bad friend if I see someone that I personally feel like is detrimental to their health, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or whatever, detrimental to their life, their future? Does that make me a bad friend if I don't say anything? What is that line? And I think it's a really like thin line. I also think people who usually point out other people's flaws is a little bit of a selfish reason. For instance, my sister met this guy through Skype, and she only talked to him for a couple of months, and then she was gonna go fly over to South America to like Guatemala to meet this guy. And I was like, what? Like, you just met this guy a couple of months and you've only seen him on Skype, and you're gonna go to in South America to meet some guy you barely know? She was telling me things like he told her that she can't go to the store by herself, especially at night, because she'll get mugged or murdered or kidnapped. And I was like, but you're gonna go to this country you never met this guy, and stay with this guy you never met. And I'm not against traveling. I travel myself, but I myself would never go to South America by myself because I've just heard a lot of horror stories, and I could be wrong. That could just be like propaganda, but like that's what I've heard. And so I was like, I need to say something to her. Like, I really need to say something to her. But to be honest, one of the reasons why I wanted to say something, and one of the reasons why I wanted to speak up, because I was like, if something bad happens to her and I didn't say anything, I would feel like shit. So it was kind of a selfish reason. And when I did finally say something to her, she actually did point that out. She said, the only reason why you're saying something is so you don't have to feel bad and so you can ease your conscience. So I did say something because I cared about her, but I also said something so it can make me feel better. So are people supposed to speak up and say something about Eugenia because if something does happen to her, they can all say, well, at least I said something, no blood on my hands, or do you actually really care? And I want you guys to answer this question back for me in my comment section. When does being a good friend, being non-judgmental, accepting and loving somebody for who they are, because if you have a friend that just has a problem, and that problem's not going to go away, and you're going to stay that person's friend, eventually you have to just accept them and love them for who they are. So when does that line end? And then when does enabling begin? When are you supposed to say anything? For Eugenia Cooney, I think she does look like she has an eating disorder. There could be other... I did have another friend who looked anorexic also, and she had a medical condition where her metabolism just overworked itself. But yeah, the doctor even told her she would never be more than 110 pounds, and that's probably only when she get pregnant. And since then, she's had 2 babies, and she looks like skin and bones with a baby belly. And I bet a lot of people are judging her, thinking she's really sick, and she just has a medical condition. But she was not as skinny as Eugenia. And then there's another medical condition. It's not an eating disorder, and because it has nothing to do with your psychological makeup. It's not because you think you're fat. It's not because you have body dysmorphia. It is another issue where you're just not as hungry as a general population. You just don't get hungry. And if I can get those names, if I can remember those names, I will put them on the screen, or I'll put them in a comment section below. But it's like, yeah, it's different from an eating disorder, because it's like, you don't think you're fat, you don't have a body dysmorphia issue, it's not a control issue, you just don't get as hungry as everybody else. It's something just went off, some wire is off, and because you don't get hungry, you don't eat as much, your stomach shrink, and so when you do eat, you just can't get so much in your stomach. So there's possibility that that's something she could have had, and when she was living with her mother was just making sure she was eating. So it's still a possibility that she does not actually have anorexia, that it is a medical condition, but it's also a good possibility that she has anorexia. She obligated to completely bare all to all her audience? No, a lot of people think YouTubers are obligated to talk about every little nuance of their life. She's not obligated, but it would be nice if she was hold that responsibility, because she does have, like I said, a very large audience of female followers who probably look up to her and who probably want to resemble her in all aspects of the word, probably want to even look like her, and she could be triggering people's eating disorders. So even if she did not have an eating disorder herself, it would be nice if she just at least addressed that issue, that she knows that that's a big problem with girls, she knows that eating disorder and anorexia is a big problem with young girls. She should at least address it and talk about it and say that she's against it, or whatever. I don't know, I'm not her god, do you boo. And I don't think all of us talking about this is really going to help her. I think it's just a discussion that people are having about holding someone accountable. A lot of big YouTubers have a big fan base, and I'm on YouTube a lot now, and if you see some of these fans, they treat their favorite YouTubers like God, and these people can get away with murder. And so I think it's just a discussion of holding your favorite YouTubers accountable. Anyway, guys, what do you think? What do you think about the Eugenia situation? What do you think about, when does that line stop from being a friend, not judgmental, and being accepting, to being an enabler? Comment below, or just make any general comments that you want. Share this video if you want to share it. Like this video if you want to like it. If you want to continue to follow me on this beautiful journey called life, please subscribe from Live, Love, Life, and Travel. Thank you, thank you, thank you.